What is going on, y'all? This is Goofy Rexy. Hope you guys are all doing well, and also Happy New Year if I haven't already said it to you already. But in today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite teams to play with in Marvel Strike Force. Now, these teams might necessarily be the best teams in Marvel Strike Force, but they're definitely, for me, the teams that I enjoy playing with, right? Yeah, I know. You got to go after the arena, stay top in the arena. I got those teams. You got to do well in raids. I got those teams. But what about just some genuine teams that I just enjoy playing with? We're going to be talking about that today. Top 5 list, guys. You know me already. I'm going to have some honorable mentions too. Gonna throw those in there towards the end of the top 5 list. And I'm going to go from 5 to 1. Not something I normally do, but I'm going to go from 5 to 1. Let's just get into the list. Jesus. All right. First team on my list here are the Supernatural team. Supernaturals, love them. Love them. Not a very high health team, not a very high sustainable team, but they're a fun team to play with. You know, the negative effects, the buffs, just watching those things pile up, the bleeds, the defense downs, the offense downs, Scarlet Witch extending those to another turn. By the way, if you want to try to dodge against this team, Elsa gonna clean that up, baby. Elsa is gonna clean it up and make sure that if you dodge it, you pay for it. You know, Doctor Strange can be pretty annoying flipping those positive effects. You know, just watching those debuffs pile up on the enemy team is probably one of the most fun things I've ever experienced in this game so far. I love that synergy from them. You know, Mordo, I've always said it before. He's one of my most hated raid characters to go against. I hate facing him in raids. I don't like it. I don't like facing him in raids. But you know what? When he's on your team, he's not that bad. He's not that bad, right? The blinds, the heal blocks, you know, the 2-turn heal block too. Not just 1 turn now, but the 2-turn heal block, the stuns, you know, those can be very, very helpful. He's really controlling the entire match for you. I mean, he's a sleeper tune in my personal opinion. He's controlling the entirety of a matchup. You know, people don't really realize it. And I mean, if you get some T4s into this team, Ghost Rider's passive, Mordo's passive, Doctor Strange's passive, this team actually can sustain themselves a little bit more. I use them a lot to do some cleanups in war, you know, in order to take on some of those lower teams in war right now. You know, but listen, man, I really enjoy them. They're a very fun team, and you know, no regrets in the investment. I haven't invested very much into them. They're only about 65 and 10 or so, but at the same time, I'm enjoying what they bring to the table, and they're a very, very fun team for me. All right, the next team on my list here, guys, are the Brotherhood 2.0 team. So we already had the Brotherhood 1.0 team, and then of course we got introduced with this new Brotherhood 2.0 team, and man, they don't disappoint at all. I enjoy this team a great deal. Man. I mean, Magneto is a beast in general. He's the only one that does what he does, right? The AoE blind and then grouping those characters together, benefiting Juggernaut, right? So that he can go out with that ultimate ability and just bang, baby, You know, that is exciting for me. The team also just has like a certain swag. Like they got that swag on them. You know what I mean? You know, Juggernaut with the helmet thing going, Magneto just floating up there, you know, while just floating. This out there just floating. You know what I'm saying? Toad, you know, is just as disgusting looking as he should look, right? Like Toad in the game looks just as disgusting looking as Toad absolutely should look. And Blob, he's just out there with his sexiness. That's it. Just let Blob do his thing. He's just out there with his sexiness, man. Just leave him alone. Let him do his thing, Blob. I feel you. You're making me feel like I'm accepted. Thank you, Blob, for being you. That's all I gotta say. I love this team, man. I love what they're able to do. Pyro is a very sneaky tune too, because he's clearing buffs. He's clearing positive effects, right? He's clearing positive effects. He's applying bleeds. You know, he's also applying disrupt, which is very clutch for some of those, you know, Fury Coulson teams, Shield Security, who likes to taunt a lot, you know, and kind of ruin your plans. You know, if you're going against the Mercs, same thing with Merc Riot Guard. I use them against the Mercs a lot as a war offense team as a war offense team for me. I use them a lot against the Mercs. You know, they're fun, very, very fun team. Pyro, very sneaky. Toad also, you know, he can assist now. He can assist now on some of your allies' turns, and you know, with Blob and Juggernaut having Striker on them, it works very well because then you're able to get that triple tap, right? Which is another fun thing to be able to do. Who am I missing here? Juggernaut, that big, massive AoE. Love that. He's super tanky, high resistance. Same with Blob. hey, listen, one of the reasons why I love using them against the Mercs is because, hey, go ahead, you know, Blob is going to gain taunt right off the bat. Go ahead and continue to be fast and go ahead and hit my Blob. He's going to hit you back, baby. He's going to hit you back. So I love the interactions with this team and how they function together, man. And for me, that's one of the reasons why they're one of my favorite teams, guys, in Marvel Strike Force. All right, my next favorite team here are the Marauders. And we might as well, I mean, I know that Emma's not technically by tag a Marauder, but you might as well just call them the Marauders, right? You know, but the Marauders team, you know, one of my favorite teams in the game to play with, man. I mean, one of the things that saddens me though is that I don't get to use them as much as I want to, because obviously they're on war defense, you know, and I typically tend to use Emma and Sinister as plug and play characters on different teams, but as a whole overall team, and I don't really get to use them as much as I want to. But I mean, the value that they provide to my roster as a defensive team, they get me good defensive wins. You know, Emma is 14. I'm getting close to getting Sinister to 14. Strife, you know, the whole overall team, man, they're just very, very, very solid. You know, right off the bat, you know, they have very high sustain. The most fun that I get is by facing other Marauders teams, you know, sometimes because that's the only time I get to really see them in action. But every now with some RTA, you know, sort of rewards or objectives, I'll be able to use this team, which makes it a lot of fun. But listen, man, this team is so exciting to play with. You know, Strife, after getting that rework, he's become incredibly even more annoying on this team. Emma obviously giving this entire team, you know, the better synergy, you know, applying slows to the enemies. Also, you know, with her passive ability, she's also as well, you know, slowing down the team there too, and, you know, applying immunity to the other mutant villain allies on this team, and Sabretooth with the skirmisher, and, you know, the striker combo with Emma, and, you know, Sabretooth is kind of a sneaky, very good damage sort of dealing tool that I really like too, with the bleeds and all that. Also Mystique, you know, the mind control shapeshifter, of course, but really kind of a mind control sort of action, you know, getting other teams to attack, you know, their own selves, right? You know, their allies. You know, it's very fun to watch. Watching her also clearing positive effects. It's just, for me, it's animations, it's visuals, it's how sexy a team looks, right? Like how fun they are, right? And this team is a fun team to play with, man, that I really, really enjoy in this game in Marvel Strike Force. So for me, they come in as not my favorite team, but one of my top 3 favorite teams here to play with in Marvel Strike Force. And the clones from Mr. Sinister are very clutch. Cloning a Black Blow, cloning the Phoenix can be very, very useful for your team. And when he does that special ability, that special where he like turns around and, you know, like shows you, you know, the turn around, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? The turn around one, it looks cool, man. It looks cool, bro. That's all I gotta say is it looks cool. Emma, when she goes into diamond form, and she's so icy, man. She looks good. She looks good when she does that, man. I really enjoy this team. Obviously, I'm a big animations and visuals guy, right? So it's not just about their abilities and what they do, but it's also about how they look, you know, when they're doing it also. So that's kind of what's one of my biggest things with this team that I really, really honestly, you know, tend to enjoy, you know, quite a bit here. All right, the next team on my list, not the least of the teams, but you already know I have a special infatuation with my Young Avengers team, all right? So did you really expect them to not be on this list? Of course they're gonna be on this list, but listen, this is another one of my favorite teams, man, in Marvel Strike Force, the Young Avengers team. I think they're a sleeper team. Not a lot of people pay attention to them a lot, just simply because, you know, they're not the flashiest team. They don't do a crazy ton of stupid damage, right? And of course, also another thing that kind of holds them back a bit is that they are also bio, right? Every character that is on this list with respect to America Chavez is bio, but you know, they're a very exciting, fun team, especially now with the new ISOs, the Skirmisher, Striker combination, Miss Marvel having Skirmisher, everyone else having Striker, or you can just throw Healer on Squirrel Girl, so it's really kind of up to you. But I mean, that Striker Skirmisher combo is very, very good. That triple tap, very, very, very good. You know, as an overall team, I think Miles has become better by being a part of this team. I think his kit was always very good. Speed bar reduction, disrupts, you know, defense down. I think that he's always been a good character, very good kit-based character. He's always just lacked on health. And, you know, Squirrel Girl is there now to kind of help, you know, with that help. Number one, giving that extra health to the team whenever they drop below 50%. America Chavez also gives 20% max health to the overall team too. So, there's definitely, or in general, hero brawlers, right? There's a hero brawler synergy, which is why Captain Marvel also works very well on this team, because of the hero brawlers synergy with Miss Marvel, that works fantastically well. Her fangirl ability, right, works fantastically well. Squirrel Girl gives that team a higher sustain. Squirrel Girl giving bleeds. Also, I think she does offense downs, if I'm not mistaken, with her ultimate ability. This is a fun team to play with. This is also a very sneaky team too on war defense. I use them on war offense and war defense interchangeably. Depends on depends on where I'm at. Every now and again, I'll take them off of defense. I'll put them on offense. They're a sneaky team that can get you some wins on defense too, because people don't realize how good that skirmisher striker combination really is when it comes to your war. So this is a very good overall team. I think Captain Marvel is still a very good plug and play character, especially with the hero brawlers team. She does work very well. She might be going to my skilletary team eventually, but for right now and in the next coming weeks, months, she's probably going to stay on my hero and my Young Avengers team. They're just such a fun team to work with. They're very, very good, very sneaky good. Miles now can clear, positive effects if they have defense down with them because of the Squirrel Girl, Young Avengers synergy. So they're pretty good, man. And America Chavez, that special ability, by the way, it slaps. That special ability hits hard, baby. That special ability hits hard. The rest of the attacks don't, but that special ability can hit pretty hard, guys. So don't sleep on that too. Like I said, man, very, very good team overall. I like them. I like what they bring to the table. I like that they're kind of a sneaky good team too. All right, the last but certainly not least of the teams here are the Symbiotes. The Symbiotes, top team for me, top favorite team in the game. And it's not just because they're good, right? It's not just because they have this prowess that they have in Dark Dimension, this prowess that they have in raids. It's not just because of that. It's not just because of the speed up from Scream, which makes them, actually that probably kind of is one of the reasons. Never mind. Scream speed up. When this team gets speed up, watching them all just go crazy with the speed ups. Oh, it's such good animation, bro. I lose my mind. I kind of geek out on it, right? Like, it's fun to watch it, man. Scream is, speed ups, the kill. Watching them get 100% drain too is also pretty dope when it comes to raids. But it's overall, the team just they look like just massive freaks and weirdos, right? But they just work so well together. Primarily Scream and Anti-Venom, they look really weird. Carnage just looks bananas. Visually, they look really cool, man. And I enjoy that. I enjoy the animations. I think that this team overall has probably some of the best animations in the game. I think for me, that's probably what makes them such a fun team. Even if they were not as dynamic as they were, I think overall, this team in general just visually looks very, very cool, when you're playing them, in the game. And Anti-Venom, that ultimate ability where he's like, it's almost like he's like putting his mitts in, and then he's like stealing the abilities. Like that is a cool animation. Scream, like I said, when she's like basically clawing at them, it looks cool, bro. I'm sorry, I'm a child, but the overall team just looks great. Venom 2 as well, same thing, spreading those negative effects. But of course, yeah, Kit, right? It's all about the Kit. What they do, Carnage, using his special ability. Once those debuffs pile up to do that massive damage, Venom spreading those negative effects is super good. He is also very sneaky good too because of that ability block. Those additional bleeds. The striker on him is so very, very good. Symbiote Spider-Man, there's enough said. Anything that he does is good. Doesn't matter. Anything that Symbiote Spider-Man does is good. He's probably one of the top plug and play characters on this team because he is good anywhere. Scream, we already talked about that too. Like, clearing positive effects also, so you have two characters that are on this team that can, with their abilities, not just with the skirmisher, but specifically just their abilities, they can clear positive effects off the enemy team and off enemy characters. And then Anti-Venom just kind of rounds out that team. I think Anti-Venom is probably one of the top characters, in the game right now, just because of how he rounded out this team. I would say he's one of the best characters one of the most recent characters that we just got into the game. Fun, exciting team, guys, and that's a big thing for me. Excitement. Do I have fun playing with them? That's a very big aspect of the game to me. But there are a couple other teams, guys, that I thought about too that are not specifically on this list that I wanted to highlight. This is one of my favorites, raid teams that I use right now: Carnage, Symbiote, Spider-Man, Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, and Anti-Venom. The Black Bolt and Yo-Yo combination has always been very good. Obviously, just getting the assist from Black Bolt has always been very good. Also, obviously Yo-Yo's offense down helps to keep her alive, even if she's low, when it comes to your raid team. And then, of course, the 3-core symbiotes now are really Anti-Venom replacing Venom, right? So Anti-Venom, Symbiote, Spider-Man, and Carnage are really the top team that I would definitely recommend, or top team that I would definitely recommend, when it comes to doing your raids. Another team I like too as well are the Emma Broader Blob combination. So Blob being here, replacing, Sabretooth, Blob right, next to Strife, giving Strife those deflects, and then the rest of the team just working very well together. Blob, because he's still a mutant villain, he's getting that mutant villain synergy, getting those positive, interactions, I should say here from, Emma, which very, very strong team. And then last but certainly not least is this team here. I wasn't able to add Emma to it, and there we go. The team has disappeared. But this team right here, I love, adding Emma to this team. This is one of my favorite raid teams with Ebony Maw, Minerva, Thanos, Hela, and then Emma. And sometimes I'll swap out Hela, too, for Black Bolt, depending on the particular note. So I typically use Hela and Black Bolt interchangeably. Fun team again, man. Very, very fun team to play with. Emma is a beast in the raids. Ebony Maw, Thanos, right in front of Hela and Ebony Maw, giving them energy. Hela being able to do her ultimate ability multiple times, as well as Ebony Maw being able to start off a match by using his defense down. Defense up for your team and then offense down against the other team. Another very, very fun team to work with, guys. So listen, this is my list. Want to know what your guys' lists are? Obviously, what you think about my list also. Appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions about anything, as usual, leave it in the comments. Other ways to connect with me too, my Discord, my Twitter page are also down below. Appreciate you guys watching so much, man. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe.